welcome to the Joe Kilgallon podcast, aka Kilgallon's Pub. Big shout out to all the YouTube subscribers. You guys have been amazing. Everyone who listens on Apple and Spotify, I love you guys as well. Been putting out a lot of great content on the YouTube channel, including part 1 of a documentary in which I'm calling it The Return, in which I had my man James Webb follow me around with a camera, and I had 3 sets in one night. It was kind of like my return after about a 5-month layoff into Chicago comedy. Did 2 spots at the Laugh Factory, 1 at Joe's on Weed Street. Released that today. Today is Tuesday, September 15th. So check that out, everybody. And then part 2 and 3 will be the following weeks. Now I realize I'm doing this on Zoom for the first time in a long time. Normally I go StreamYard, but StreamYard has been pissing me off like you wouldn't believe. We're switching to speaker view. That way you don't just see Sarah Perry, my guest, bored out of her mind as I'm explaining this shit. There she is. She laughed, so the camera went right to her. That's what's cool about speaker view on Zoom. I wish StreamYard had a little bit of speaker view, but they do not. Look, StreamYard has been good to me for a while, but I don't know what the hell was going on, and I'm really pissed because I paid for StreamYard, so I have it where I could stream from like 7 different platforms at once. I stopped going live for a while, though, because it was too distracting. Like, people would be commenting, I'd be reading that instead of talking to people, and I thought it was a bad podcast to do it that way. And there was other aspects of StreamYard I liked a lot, but lately it's been sucking major dick, and not in the good way. Sometimes you want to suck major dick, or you want your dick to be majorly sucked. So I'm not knocking dick sucking. There's still, I'm going to bring in our guest on that note, actually. A returning guest, been on the podcast numerous times, always very popular. I get great feedback on her episodes.
Really?
Yeah, you get a lot of really good feedback. A fantastic stand-up comedian who's actually been tearing it up. I feel like COVID, like a bad thing happened to her, but like true artist, she turned it into absolute gold as a stand-up comedian, and we'll get to that and so much more. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, Sarah Perry. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great.
What a journey to get here.
Journey. Here's the backstory. This is our 3rd attempt.
I think it is our 4th?
4th, actually.
Okay.
We recorded somewhat of one almost a month ago now. And there was chunks of it that sounded great. And then chunks of it where it was just this horrible echo that was impossible for me to continue because I just couldn't concentrate. I'd say a word, and then 5 seconds later, it would be played back in my ear, and it was really annoying. And I wasn't sure if that was going to show up on the podcast. Anyway, long story short, you guys don't give a fuck about technical difficulties. But I was like, we got to end this. And she was so cool to be like, no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Just an hour and a half of my night wasted.
Well, you scared me. You looked like you were going to punch the computer. So I was like, it's okay.
You're not wrong. I definitely did. I threw some stuff. You got to see that on camera. Maybe I'll post that on the Patreon, everyone. Subscribe to Patreon, patreon.com/Joe Kilgallon for all sorts of bonus flip outs. Yeah, I was just fed up because I was having camera or microphone problems for a while now, and I've been putting energy into my own home studio. Like I got the sweet backdrop. I designed way where I got like some toys. I got some bottles of whiskey, a little Chicago flag. My man Chris Bryan on the wall. A couple record albums that I taped to the wall there. Also, this brown background I ordered from Amazon. So, because my regular tan walls, with my.
Wait, so I'm sorry. You went from tan to brown. That was your choice?
Well, it wasn't like tan. It was more like a light color, like my skin. It matched my skin tone. So it's almost beige walls. I guess beige is the word I'm looking for, not tan. I don't know. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I guess that makes you don't want anything too bright, so that's fair.
Yeah, so you want a darker backdrop because my skin is bright as hell.
Mine too, man.
We're pasty fucks, you know.
I love being pasty. I don't give a fuck. Whatever.
Oh, I'm cool with it too. I get out of parking tickets for being pasty. These days, everybody. That's how we truly end racism, by being honest about our privilege.
That's it.
Get tickets because I look like this. That's the truth of it. They go look at them blue eyes. We love you, Joey. Get out of here. Drive a little slower next time.
Get out of here.
Yeah, totally. So Sarah, we had some gems on the last one that we're going to do our best to try to recreate. We'll see how that goes.
Okay.
Just, go with the flow and have a good time. You got your ass dumped hard over. Such a jerk off way.
That's like the meanest anyone's put it so far, but yeah, that's what happened. No, that's what happened. Whatever.
I mean, look though. Hey, you're a goddamn catch, and I I said it in a jerk way because I feel like you and I have tried to start this conversation so
I
many
know.
times and it just hasn't played out.
No, it's fine. It is what it is. It happened. It sucks, but it happened. So what are you gonna do?
I know you're still a little heartbroken over it.
Oh, I just got done crying after right before I came on.
Sarah.
I cry. No, I cry in the shower, and then I cry when I wake up because I have dreamt about it, and then I cry when I go to sleep. So only like 3 cries a day, unless I don't shower. Then it's 2 cries a
Wow.
day. Just kidding. Or am I? I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard.
It's so hard when you're kidding sometimes because I've noticed there's been a shift in your stand-up since you've come back where it's so much more autobiographical. I feel like you're talking about your life more. Not that you weren't before, but I feel like there was observations in there where now it's straight. Here's what I'm going through.
Yeah.
You had a really funny tweet the other day about hitting up your therapist, being like, "This is an emergency," and then your therapist being like, "What is it?" And you're like, "Not much. How are you?" You know.
Because every time I'm like, oh, I email her at like 2 a.m. and I'm like, I really need you. And then so we'll meet 2 days later at 2 p.m. and she's like, what was going on? And I was like, well, let's start with you. Like, how's your life going? Like, I do my best to avoid talking about my feelings at all costs. Like, if I'm not in the mood, I gotta be in the mood to, you know what I mean? I don't know. But I got a lot of feedback. Everyone was like, I do that with my therapist. So
I need to see a therapist.
relatable. Yeah.
Don't you think everybody should see a therapist?
Everyone, especially men in their 30s, please do.
Was your
Huh?
Was your ex a man in his 30s?
Yes. How old are you? You're 36?
35. Thank you.
He's a year younger than you.
Oh, he's 34. I'm actually going to be 36. Oh.
Yeah. He's a grown-ass man. Grown-ass adult man.
Well, the reason I say everybody should, and you're like, yeah, especially men in our 30s. And also, how about a little understanding for men in our 30s? Maybe life isn't so easy on us. Everyone just assumes you're a man, that things are great. Maybe that society's been unfair to us where we have to live up to all these fucking unfair expectations that the whole world puts on us. Oh, so what? We don't bleed, Sarah. So what? But still.
That has nothing to do with why he needs to see a therapist. I agree with you on that. But like, just a lot of issues. I think everybody should. It was so like taboo, and now it's like not. And I don't know, like people like were like all against it. Now everyone's like, oh, everybody should do it, and then they're like nerds, and then they're like, good for you. And so like, I think some people like, I don't know, everybody should.
You know what I'm doing? I'm doing something that you did the last time you were on my podcast, but we were in a studio. I'm spilling beer all over myself right now.
You gave me so much shit for that. It was like,
I laughed. I thought it was funny.
How much did you spill?
Right now I'm spilling a bunch, but luckily I put my feet there, so it's spilling all over my feet. Sorry, I moved away from the microphone, everyone. I just opened up a PBR slowly so it wouldn't crack, and then it just started to come all the way out.
Do you want to see what I'm drinking?
Of course I do. Tito's homemade vodka. Handmade or homemade?
Handmade.
Handmade. Hold on, I think I have a little towel behind me. All right, this is thrilling listening to everybody. No, so yeah, I remember last time you spilled beer. I thought it was funny because you were slurping off the table. I wasn't mad at you. What was
yeah, I did.
James Webb, everyone who's the founder of the People of Comedy Podcast Network. Everyone check out all the great podcasts on the People of Comedy Podcast Network. He said something about like Dale McPeak was on once and he spilled beer and he was like, don't worry about it. And Dale was like, motherfucker, you were yelling about coasters earlier. And you're telling me don't worry about spilled beer all over the fucking place. So yeah, anyway, though, what is going on in your little room right now? You're in like a witness protection room. How come there's
this is like the one corner of my apartment that I haven't decorated yet. I just moved to a new apartment by myself.
You're in the corner?
So, what?
That poster behind you on the floor, Frank.
This is like I'm wearing my boxers right now. Looks like I'm wearing no pants, but this is like my makeshift of all my female comedian people. I don't know, because I did the rest of my apartment very adult.
No, it's
like it's like I like got rid of all my like kid art, and my best friends, so Rob Faruzish and Joe Loisel came over, and they were like, you gotta get rid of some of this stuff because it looks like a college dorm room. And I was like hanging up string lights, and I was like, huh? What do you mean? And so I I got rid of that. They made me get rid of that lamp that has like the 5 heads that's like in every dorm room. They made me get rid of
I used to have one of those, and now I want one back. Those were
You should have bought mine off me. I sold it on Facebook Marketplace.
for how much?
$15.
Yeah, I would have bought it off you for sure. I want one of those because as someone who's been filming a lot of stuff, those are handy as hell because you can put different.
Exactly.
Why would you listen to those two fucking idiots?
They were so mean to me. And then they made fun of my TV stand, so I got rid of that and got a real one, you know. So.
You want me to mount a TV? I've mounted every TV in my house.
That sounds so
That sounds sexy. You want to come over and mount your TV? What's up? I'm married. Come on, you can't be.
That's like my brother saying that stuff. You're like my brother. That's so gross. Ew.
Yeah, I know, but you could have played along for like half a second.
You're the one who was like, I'm married.
Yeah. Funnier when I say it because I don't know. Okay, whatever. Sperry.
I'm married too, so back off.
Yeah, married to the Lord, right? I've heard you found Jesus during all of this.
Can you imagine if I did? Ugh.
Poster though. That's like all your comedy heroes. You made a collage of them.
It's just mostly, I did it in college. It's mostly Schumer, Amy Poehler, Tina Fey, Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Let's talk about her for a few seconds. I've been watching a lot of Seinfeld recently on Hulu, which I like Hulu. And Julia Louis-Dreyfus is incredible. She's hysterical in that. She's amazingly talented. Seems like a great person, blah, 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 blah. But let me just say this. She is now in her 50s. I think she's hotter today than she was in the 90s when she was in.
She's hotter. Yeah.
I don't understand. How does someone get hotter when was it just that hairstyle looking back wasn't so good?
Yeah, usually women do the opposite and men are the ones that get hotter with age. Like look at fucking Paul Rudd, Steve Carell, literally anybody.
Deal with the devil though. He hasn't aged in like 50.
I know, it's so creepy, but yeah, she's hot.
And he's in his 50s. So every time I think to myself, oh, Joe, the days of having a six-pack are over, I look at that guy and I'm like, I could get it back.
So hot. So hot.
He's a handsome man, that Paul Rudd. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
Who's your like dudes that you're we've talked about this before. You're into like band guys, right? You like all these like pop punk dudes?
I am, but I just saw a movie last night in theaters for the first time since March, probably. Beginning of March, and he's not very popular, I don't think, because he was in Twilight, but Edward Pattinson is one of the hottest. Like, I'm watching this movie and he's such a good actor, but people kind of write him off because of Twilight. But like, if you've seen anything else that he's in, anything else, he's phenomenal.
Good Time?
What?
The movie called Good Time, or what movie was it?
It was Tenet. It just came out.
One that just came out. That's right.
It was so confusing, but his face was so like I wanted to fucking sit on this the whole time. I was just like, I want to suffocate you in between my thighs. Like I've never said that about any man ever. I just want to like, ah! It was so hot. So that's my guy right now.
That's a good one. I'm on a Scarlett Johansson kick lately because I've been watching a lot of the Marvel movies.
Who isn't? You know, when I went to the SNL after party, she was one of the big celebs there, and I couldn't stop staring at her. One, because she was famous, but two, because I was just like, you really look like that in real life. Like, she's just.
You know, I've wanted to have, I know a model. She was like a Maxim's Hometown Hottie, and she was, you know, a bunch of other stuff. She's been in a million things, calendars, and like, she's got a shitload. She's like an Instagram model too, but she's like a regular model as well. And I've always wanted to ask like someone who's super, super hot. It has to be a woman too, because super hot guys are boring, I think. At least to me, they are. What is it like? Like, at what age do you realize everybody wanted to bang you, and how do you process that? Because
you just get everything you want. Like,
if I could do it all over again, I'd come back. I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, women have it so hard," and they do. Don't get me wrong. I'm not being one. I was joking around earlier. Women have it way harder than men. But if I were to come back as anything, I'd come back as a really hot woman.
Like Scarlett Johansson hot? Because you got to be really hot.
Super hot. Like Scarlett Johansson, Blake Lively. I mean, there's a lot. There's a million, not a million, but there's a lot where you see them and your brain goes to, that's what you look like. Like, holy shit. How are you this hot? How
Yeah.
not just walking around? And that's why they're always smiling, because they're like, I'm so fucking hot. I think she's a great actress too.
Yeah, she is.
Think
Yeah.
of the year she had in 2019. In 2019, Scarlett Johansson was nominated for 2 Oscars in the same year. She was nominated for Best Actress for Marriage Story, and
Oh
she
yeah,
was nominated for Best Supporting Actress for Jojo Rabbit. And the
I saw
third
that.
she did, she came out. 3 movies came out in 2019 for her. The third movie was Avengers Endgame, which is the highest grossing movie of all time. So
So
two
how much is she worth? She's got to be worth.
fuck man, I don't know. She's probably one of the highest paid actresses, which probably puts her like 15 million, 20 million a picture.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, and
crazy.
she just got married to Colin Jost, a dude who I've met a couple times. And actually,
I know. That's so random.
have you ever played Whirly Ball?
No.
All right, Whirly Ball, everyone, is I think pretty unique to Chicago. So those of you listening around the world, this is Whirly Ball. You're in bumper cars essentially, and except for they hit way harder, and you're holding like a mini lacrosse stick, but only if it was like a handle, not like really long, right? And you get a wiffle ball, that's like the ball, and you try to score on almost like a basketball hoop, but it's not like a hoop that comes out, it's just like a hole in a backboard. And while you're doing that, you are bashing into other people in your like bumper car. And you could get some fucking whiplash playing this game. It's a vicious game, but it's fun as hell because you get real drunk and it's just an exciting game. I don't know. I want to have a comedian outing where all the Chicago comedians go to Whirly Ball and we film it because it'll be a goddamn riot.
That would be funny.
It would be. All right, let's go back to talking about your breakup, huh? I wanted to lighten the mood by switching gears a little bit. Here's where I wanted.
Talking about women hotter than me. Let's do it.
No, Scarlett Johansson's hotter than everybody, though.
Yeah.
You talked about your boy Robert Pattinson.
That's true.
Rated actor. That dude is a really good actor.
So good.
When I heard he was going to be the next Batman, and everyone's like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "That's how everyone reacted to Heath Ledger's Joker, and he was amazing as Joker." So
He gets like intense, like Heath did it, from what I heard, because he did that Lighthouse movie, like that black and white movie, which I didn't like. I saw with my ex-boyfriend, but he like said he did an interview during his like during the or after the film, he did an interview saying that during the scenes where he had to cry, he would like shove his finger down his throat, make himself throw up, so his eyes were all red and puffy and like literally crying. And his co-star was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he's just like, that's what he did to make him like literally throw up.
actors are weird.
I know.
That level though, I guess if you're going to be paid that much and that wide of an audience, like if you were going to do a set where you knew, say I told you, hey, next Friday we're going to live stream your Laugh Factory set and 5 million people are going to watch it.
I'd do it naked, probably.
You would do it naked? Just to, I mean, you don't give the OnlyFans away for free. What you do is
I know.
and then say, here's my OnlyFans, everybody. Come to the party.
You know, I fucking riffed the other day at Laugh Factory. Someone was talking about how I was like asking how everybody's been doing with the quarantine up top. And some guy was like, "I'm doing great. I got a promotion." And everyone was like, "Fuck you, dude. What?" And I just like riffed. I go, "I tried to start an OnlyFans and they paid me to get off their website." And it got an applause break. And I was like, "Am I that ugly?"
Oh, you're not. That's just a fun, like, misdirection type of
It
thing.
was so funny. And so now it's in my set.
There you go. That's pretty good. Didn't you post like a thirst trap on Instagram the other day?
You know what I have been doing, because I saw, not that I didn't know already that the world is on fire, but I saw like a tornado, a fire-nado. Did you see that?
That looks scary as hell.
And then like just the haze of like California. I'm just like, oh, we're gonna like, it's gonna end soon. And I was like, I can't not, just show off a little taste. I don't want to give the whole thing away. But I was feeling sexy, and that's a rare thing, especially right now. I've been depressed for like months. I was like, I'm gonna post this. And then of course my DMs, I was like, what was I thinking? Like
What's the creepiest DM you've gotten from that?
No, not creepy, just like how much can I pay you to see the uncensored version, or where's your OnlyFans, or like,
Why don't you respond to that with an insanely high number And then
Well, my post, I said 6,000 or 6 million euros or something as a joke. And someone was like, is that negotiable? And I was like, well, because once it's out there, it's like out there. Like if I get like a set on Jimmy Fallon the night it premieres, that's going to be out next to it. You know what I mean?
of course, I'm only messing with you. Don't do that.
No, I don't want to. But the weirdest DM I ever got, because somebody asked me this one time, it was like maybe a year ago. I got like 3 in a row from 3 separate dudes, not in like totally in a row, but like within a day. And they all had to do just randomly with a jar of peanut butter. Like one of them was like, I want to hit you in the head with a jar of peanut butter. One was like, I want to stick my dick in a jar of peanut butter and stick it in you. And one was like, I want to eat peanut butter off you. And I was like, what? I like literally looked at all 3 profiles. I was like, do these people know each other? It was so weird.
Was it like National Peanut Butter Day on Twitter or something?
I don't know. I didn't post anything about peanut butter, but obviously I DM'd the guy that was gonna hit me in the face because like knock me out first. But like what?
So I said, what a sweetheart to knock you out first. That's such a weird, specific thing. Sometimes,
So weird.
I'm getting older and I worry that I'm behind on the times with certain things. Like, we were talking about Paul Rudd earlier. Paul Rudd did a thing about like, hey, young people, for like New York about like wearing masks and stuff like that. And he was using all of like the slang that like 20-year-olds use. And I don't get a lot of it. Like when someone says like bet, I don't get that. Like bet. Like what do you mean bet? Like, do you want to bet on that? But it doesn't sound like they're using it in the context of, hey, let's gamble.
I never got I was always the last. And then by the time I figured it out, I was like, oh, it's on to the next thing. I'm like, whatever. I'm just gonna.
You're 25 though. So like, what is a simp? When someone says this guy's a simp, what does that mean?
Like a pimp? I don't know.
Simp with like an S, like SIMP. You don't know.
I genuinely don't know. I don't know.
Well, see, even though you're young, you've always hung out with old people, I feel like.
I always have. Like when I entered the scene, I was 21 and everybody was in their 30s, mid 30s, late 30s, or the people I hung out with, like the cool people that like I liked, because like, I don't know. But yeah, who gives a shit? That's like, I feel like that's like, what's the generation below us, below millennials? Gen Z?
Which
that's them.
Part of. You're like a baby millennial. I'm an old millennial. You're like a baby millennial.
I know. Yeah.
Be Gen Z.
But like if I was like in middle school right now, oh my God, fuck me. That's terrible. If you're in middle school right now or high school right now, that sounds terrible.
Middle school right now would be pretty bad. But these are probably people who are DMing you about peanut butter though. I brought up the whole slang thing, or not slang, but like I guess slang. Because I was wondering, is like that a thing? It's like, how like a couple years
very well could have been. And here I am thinking, oh, actual peanut butter. Like, I don't know.
Well, there's that one joke that is considered like one of the more offensive jokes of all time. It was a joke. There was an episode of How I Met Your Mother where Neil Patrick Harris's character, Barney, said the joke to the redhead on the show. I forget her name now. Allison Hennigan.
Uh-huh.
And they use it as an excuse because in real life she was pregnant, so she wasn't going to be in the next 3 or 4 episodes. But they were saying the joke was so offensive that she was like, I can't hang out with you anymore. And she disappeared for like 4 or 5 episodes. But
what was it?
Here was the joke. What's the difference between peanut butter and jam?
I can't peanut butter my fist up your ass.
Something like that. But some people do it like where they go even crazier with it. Like,
and they were like, we need to put this in this episode.
Well, he just, he said the start of the joke and then the answer, they like.
But isn't that his character?
That he's super like.
He's like awful.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't get in trouble for it. People thought it was funny and all that kind of stuff. But I know that's one of those jokes that's gone around as being like.
That's nothing.
No, because some people make it even more offensive where they go like, I can't peanut butter my dick and do like a little kid's asshole, or they just go even crazier.
Oh, okay. Well, that's bad.
Just repeating a joke, everyone. Because the way society right now, everyone's talking about.
I'm just going to cut that clip.
You're right. We were talking about how when you do Fallon one day, it's going to be you responding to DMs and how much money you'd show your feet. And then me, it's going to be that clip taken out of.
I would for sure show my feet. I was actually talking to somebody about this because they're like, would you ever do OnlyFans? And I said, if I wasn't trying to be in the public eye or successful like that way, absolutely. Like if I was in total jam for money, like a lot of people are right now, and that's why they're doing it, I would for sure, who cares? The only one I would do right now is feet, because you can't tell. Everything else on my body has tattoos everywhere. So I'm gonna be like, oh, that was Sperry, because we're nasty woman tattoo on her ass.
With feet though, even if they knew for sure it was your feet, wouldn't you just be like, yeah, I mean, it was 2020, it was a weird year, I needed some extra cash, so I showed pictures of my feet.
Yeah, I would. If someone's listening right now and you want to see pictures of my feet, they start at $5. What do you think's reasonable? $100?
$500?
$5.
Listen, anyone watching this on YouTube right now, listening on, Spotify, whatever, if you're a foot dude, no judging. There's no judging here.
No, not at all. I never judge.
People like what they like.
For sure.
I'm very curious why, though. Fucking why? What is it about feet? Everyone has feet. I don't understand. I mean,
I heard somewhere that there's like some, I don't know, this sounds fake now that I'm saying it out loud, but some muscle or like counterpoint in your foot is like like in your brain, it's like very close to the sexual lobe in your brain or something. And that's why. And I was like, that kind of sounds like it could be real or fake. I think it was just a creep trying to explain himself.
No, that could be a real thing for sure. I think like massaging someone's feet, I could see that being like sensual to the point where it's like, oh, I'm turned on. But these dudes are literally like, let me see pictures of your feet.
I don't get the pictures. Like, I get if you want to like touch them.
Yeah, if you want to touch them and like rub them for
like, how do you jerk off to a picture of feet?
That's what I'm asking the world, because apparently there's dudes who do that shit.
I'm gonna come in between your toes and make them web. Did I just come up with a new bit?
You came up with something. I think you came up with a lot of things.
A tweet at the least.
Not just, no, don't ruin that. Don't waste it on Twitter. Take that one to the stage.
It's straight there. Don't look back.
Ridiculous.
That's kind of funny, dude.
It's funny, but imagine if you were hooking up with a guy and he was like, I want to come between your toes.
Cum looks exactly like web. It makes total sense.
It looks.
It depends. Like, if I was dating the guy for a year and he was like, there's something I haven't told you, and I just like, I've always wanted to come in between your toes, I'd be like, okay. If it was the first, yeah, fuck off. Yeah, I don't know.
Who's dropping that nugget on the first date?
That's like not, yeah, that's a pretty weird one. I don't know. At this point, I'm just like, as long as you can like get hard, I guess. My expectations are so low. It's so embarrassing.
You set the bar so low.
You have a face?
Face? And can it get hard? Like what it's supposed to do?
Even if your dick like got cut off in a horrible accident, you can just lay next to me while I fuck myself.
Ow. I don't like hearing about stuff like that. That makes me weird. Makes me queasy.
What about hearing about like catheters?
That sounds awful too.
Yeah, that shit freaks me out.
I was talking about it when I talked about Chadwick Boseman dying. He died of colon cancer.
Yeah.
I'm like 4 or 5 years away from when you're supposed to get a colonoscopy, and that just sounds bad. But then, good listener, I'll give him a shout out right now. Ron Grant, very good dude. He told me, he's like, no, you got to get one. Also, they knock you out nowadays. He goes, the only part that sucks is I guess you have to drink all this liquid to clear yourself,
right,
detox yourself going into it. But he goes, I remember counting backwards or something like that. And then I woke up and I'm like, oh, it was over. Cool. Like, thank God for that. Because imagine back in the day, you were awake while they were shoving a little tiny camera thing up your asshole.
Well, so do you want to hear a story that only my family knows? That I was going to do a storytelling show once and do this, but it like for some reason the show got canceled. But both my sisters are married. Two of my sisters are married. And one of my sisters, it was the night before her wedding, and I like hadn't shit for like a week. I was like, and I was talking, like everyone was like, what's wrong? Where are you eating? And I was just like so backed up, and I had to squeeze into this fucking like bridesmaid dress. And I was like, I feel fat. I feel gross. I don't know what to do. I have a healthy digestive, like I've never had issues shitting. And both my sisters are nurses. And as a joke, my dad goes back into his bathroom and comes out with oh my God, enema.
Oh, an enema. Oh my God. Ow, ow.
Like he just had it on hand, which was really weird. And we're all laughing and drinking and joking, and we're like, haha, very funny. And then my sister Amy was like, I'll do it. Like she's like, I've seen horrible things. Like I'll do it. And I was like, no, come on. And like we're wasted. We go up in my bedroom, and everyone's downstairs, but they can hear us.
Is
And
there a reception going on or
no. So this is the night before the wedding.
before? Sorry, I missed that tidbit.
So the next morning was going to be the wedding. And so I was like, I don't want to feel like I have a brick in my stomach. And my sister's laughing, and I'm laying on my side of my bed with my pants down. And she goes, stop clenching. And everyone's downstairs going, like they can hear everything. And I go, I'm scared. She goes, you got to stop clenching. And then all of a sudden she goes, there it is. Yeah.
Oh no.
And I go, ah! And then everybody downstairs is cracking up because they hear the whole thing. And I've never had anything shot, like it's water, shot up your ass. The feeling is, I can't even, it didn't hurt. Like I'm sure a colonoscopy maybe does, but like 2 seconds later, I was shitting my brains out. It was unlike anything I've ever felt in my life. And just the fact that my sister like saw the inside of my butthole, and I haven't even seen the inside of my butthole.
I mean, you never want to, right?
No.
There's parts of your body you never want to see the inside.
I get really freaked out when I see like dudes' bare, hairy butt cheeks. Like if my ex we were in the shower together, I'd like look away. Everyone's like, ooh, boys' butts. Women love boys' butts. I'm like, what about them? Like, ew.
Boo, boys' butts. I don't like boys.
So gross.
I don't like my own ass. I don't. I'll admit I got.
Yeah, but you're a dude, so it's like, why would you?
Yeah, I don't know. Men's bodies are pretty fucking gross.
So gross.
Like I understand
So gross.
men being bisexual. I don't understand. I understand gay men. Be gay, of course, but I don't get liking both because if you like the one thing, what's appealing about the other thing? I mean, again, no judging everybody. I'm just saying I mentally can't grasp it.
Well, that's you. Yeah, that's you. There you go. And now you know you're straight.
Yeah, I just think dudes, I wish, I don't know. It'd be a pain in the ass, but I kind of think that we should be shaving more parts of our body.
Yeah.
You know? But your last dude had a beard, so do you prefer beards?
Yes.
See the problem?
And I hate bald dudes. Nobody can pull off a bald head. Nobody.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are going to be like, fuck you.
Unless you're wearing like, you have to wear like a backwards hat and then it's like whatever. But like, I've seen so many like hot men with great hair, like shave their heads, like be kooky. And it's like, you look like a tip of a penis.
Man, I mean, I don't know what to say to that because I feel like
I'm just doing this to your hair right now and you would look so bad, Joe. Oh my God, and you're so pale already.
Yeah, I'm glad I still have my hair.
Ew. Oh my God.
I got too much hair right now. I feel like we're just shitting on bald people right now.
I know. I mean, but I like that bald people can like laugh at themselves, you know, because they have to. Because if you don't, it's like.
I think it's coming. Here's the thing, bald men listening out there. I'll give you some positive hope. I think a cure is on its way because we know who funds medical research in this country. Also, I think it's going to become more and more acceptable for men to get hair plugs and things like that. And hair plugs look better now. It's not like it was 15 years ago.
Yeah, they look great.
Yes. You mentioned earlier, Steve Carell being a good.
Yes, I was just going to bring that up.
Definitely hair plugs. And who else? Matthew McConaughey, hair plugs.
Why not?
It's become, why not? If women could wear makeup and do all sorts of other stuff, why can't men do some of those things too?
What the fuck you want, dude? It's your body. Hell yeah.
Once if you feel like it's going to help your self-esteem and you're not going to be a detriment to society because you're all pissed off because you're bald.
Yeah, exactly.
Throw some hair up there. I'm all for it. All right. I did you had a hilarious story that you started to tell me one of the millions of times we failed at doing this podcast in which you had a thing with the gynecologist.
Oh yeah. That's my closer right now. It's crushing.
You're doing it on stage now?
Oh yeah, it's crushing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. So I don't want to waste one of your stand-up bits if that's what it is.
It is, but I mean.
Well, it's a story. People are going to hear it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember you telling me and just being like, holy shit. So what you got like multiple.
Oh yeah, because I guess the first time we tried to do this, it was like right after. Yeah. So it was my birthday, and then like a week later, my boyfriend broke up with me. So like on my birthday, we had sex. And then so like he broke up with me a week later, and like half a week or
I do a Zach Morris timeout. He broke up with you a week after your birthday?
it was like 2 weeks maybe 2 weeks.
Okay. What was his present for you then? Did he get you a good gift at least?
Oh, he fucking made me a fucking scavenger hunt, and I like opened one card and it rhymed to the next clue, and then I went around my apartment and I went down to the laundry room. Oh, a little rhymey note to the next clue, and then the end. My teddy bear that he got me a while ago on my bed was holding the final clue, and it was this card that's like, you're the most beautiful, sexiest, funniest, gorgeous, perfect woman I've ever met in my life. I love you so much. Yeah, it was a lot of time went into it. I mean,
Real quick though, be honest. At the time, did you love it?
absolutely.
But not like cheesy.
But now that I know that it obviously either wasn't real or he's just a horrible, horrible person, which that's what I'm leaning on right now.
Do you think if the whole COVID-19 and the quarantine and everything being shut down, do you think you guys would stay together?
I literally asked him that after he broke up with me. I go, if COVID didn't happen, would we still be together? And he goes, I don't know. And I'm like, I'd rather you be like, no, we wouldn't be, you know? But like to be like, I don't know, maybe this disease was the reason we broke up. I'm like, fuck. I'm telling you, dude, there's so, and I talk a lot about this in my new set. Like, I hate to like be like, oh my God, don't, you know, I'm so dramatic. But I've spoken to like a few people, a few women have like slid in my DMs and been like, yo, this happened to me, or I think it's about to happen to me. I'm having issues with my partner because of COVID. And just said that it's just, I mean, it's not just an ordinary breakup. I talked to this person all day, every day for a year. He told me he wanted to marry me. He told me I was the love of his life. He told me everything I wanted to hear. Everybody loved him. All my friends loved him. My family, his dad would FaceTime me. I loved everybody. And for him to just go out of nowhere, and during the breakup, he was like, I still love you and I need you in my life. I never heard from him again.
Yeah, that joke we're not going to spoil, but you have a great joke about why would I be friends with you, and it's really, really.
Yeah, that's good. But I just think,
From a view, that's why I was curious about the gift. He put a lot of thought into it, right?
yeah.
I've come across dudes who they when they've got one foot out the door, that's when they get extra nice for some weird reason.
Fuck that.
I don't know why.
And fuck him. Then he's a really, really horrible person, honestly.
It's the opposite. It's one or the other. There's no, it's rare. It's rare that, here's what I've noticed from talking to female friends. They'll be like, I didn't know where he became the biggest piece of shit ever. And when I hear that, I go, well, this is what's happening. He wants you to dump him. He's already decided that he doesn't want this relationship to go any further.
See, that wasn't like this. Like the morning he broke up with me.
Yeah, I'm saying two sides.
Sweetheart, I love you. Bye, sweetheart, love you.
Right.
So he's, and this is what I was talking about on Paul Farvar's Singles Only podcast with Marty DeRosa, who like Marty was like, I was a bad boy. I can relate. Like he was kind of playing devil's advocate, and I understood what he was saying, but I was just like, all the guys I've dated have been like from the outside, total bad boy. Like if I didn't think I was going to get my heart broken, I was an idiot. You know what I mean? Like knew it from the start. And I would have rather him been that way than like this hidden guy behind this fake nice facade who's really just a bad dude. Like who, like why? That's so disgusting and icky to like put on this mask and then just like drop somebody out of nowhere and like not give a shit. It like really, 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 really fucked me up. So.
Well, that's what I mean though. I'm telling you, when I've from what I've heard, it's rarely, oh, the writing was on the wall and slowly but surely this relationship fell apart. It's always things were great and then he dumped me. Or things just out of nowhere went so horrible where it was just like one morning he woke up and he was just the biggest piece of shit. And when I hear that, I'm like, he was being an asshole because he doesn't have the guts to dump you and he wanted you to do it.
Yeah.
Any
He
dude
was, he
that
was for sure acting like depressed, but I was too. Like COVID had just started and we were like, everyone was like, what the fuck's happening? What are we doing? Everything's shut down. Like everybody was freaking out. This was new for literally everybody. So like we were kind of like in a weird place. Like, and I was like, are we okay? And he's like, oh my God, yeah, baby, we're okay. Yeah, oh my God, yeah, blah, blah, blah.
future. Everyone had an uncertain future, and a lot of people just did not know how to handle it.
I guess what it comes down to, and this is what my therapist said and my friends say, and blah, blah, blah. And I don't get this because I've had depression anxiety since I was 9 years old. And when I feel that way, I want people, my loved ones, close to me. But when certain people feel depressed, they push loved ones away. And I've never understood that. To me, that's like a total cliche, and it makes absolutely no sense. Like, well, you're trying to save them from the hurt. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't get that.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but you don't know what's going on in someone else's head. That's what depression is. It's good that everyone's talking about depression more and more. I think you and I were talking about this a little bit earlier, and it's great. But then there are some people where you're like, wait, is everyone's depressed, or are you just a little sad and you're trying to make something about yourself and be exploitive about it?
Yeah.
It's just like everyone handles things in a different way. Like I've been told, I have a bad temper, and they say bad temper is usually sometimes a sign of depression too, because you're pissed off about so many other things that the only way you know how to release any of this is just through rage. And so
Right.
kind of part of that, I guess, too. I don't know. Yeah, I've heard of a lot of people, they get sad, they get depressed, and they just want to push everyone away because they think they're useless and they're not worth it, or they're worthless or whatever it is. But yeah, and then you were like, no, I need you guys to be like my rocks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, back to the gynecologist. Sorry, I had to ask about the birthday thing because I'm always curious about that. I've heard of so many people where they're like, I broke up with the person, or
Well, I didn't even tell you the.
because like a lot of times you make up your mind, oh, I'm gonna break up with them, but their birthday's coming up, so maybe I just suck it up for another month because I don't want to dump someone right before their birthday.
We didn't even. So his actual gift, when I got to the end of the scavenger hunt, was a record and t-shirt, brand new record from one of my all-time favorite bands. Like, it's what I wanted, but they're a band in Australia, and so shipping was like $25, and then gonna take a month, and then COVID happened. It took 3 months. So what he did was gave me the picture of the gift on my birthday, broke up with me 2 weeks later, and then I just sat around for 2.5 months waiting for this gift to arrive. At one point I was like, okay, he didn't order it, that was a joke. And then right before I moved out, I come home from a show and it's sitting there, and it's like, that's just like the fucking night, like that's just like him like hurting me from the grave. Like that's just like horrible.
I mean,
Like,
do you look?
he knew it was gonna be that way.
It's not supposed to be that way. Is that what you said?
No, he knew that was the way it was gonna happen. So like, he's just a piece of shit person.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I'm trying to stick up for him. You're right. Fuck that guy. He hurt my friend. I don't like him.
He's really, really not a good person. And that pains me to say that, because like, I'm like, I want everyone to get along and everybody. I think he doesn't. I have no respect for anybody that shows no remorse for their own actions and just kind of like, oh, I fucking hurt you. Not my problem anymore. Bye. Especially after everything he said to me. So bottom line, I'm done. I'm not like, how are you going to trust anybody? How are you going to trust anybody ever?
Let's set you up, everybody. I'm going to be taking emails. You could email me at
Joe, like your wife could leave you tomorrow. You don't know.
That's true. That could happen.
How do you know?
I blame her, quite
frankly.
frankly.
Oh, because you guys said a bunch of shit to each other?
Yeah, you don't know. The people, this happens like a lot. It's
sorry, I'm like being so negative right now. Love isn't real.
Love isn't real. Here's the thing. You're still so far. What are you, 25?
Don't say that like I'm not allowed to have feelings.
I was 25. I'll tell you something right now. Adam Burke, actually, he's the one that said this to me. I was going through some shit when I was 25, And he literally said, you're going to be part of a generation where life expectancy will probably be up to 100. So you're only a quarter through your life right now. So, he was basically just telling me like what you're going through right now and it'll all work itself out and all that kind of stuff. So now you've learned a valuable life lesson. You've gotten some great material out of it. I'm trying to spin it to the positive side.
Yeah.
Life isn't all about material. You don't want to be one of those comedians. Every now and then I come across a comedian where I'm like, I think you self-sabotage just to get 2 extra minutes of comedy.
Oh, I would never do that.
Fucked up, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Those people. That's a darkness you don't want to encounter. And yeah, the reason I bring up your youth is because this does happen. Everyone I know by the time they're 30 will have a heartbreaking moment where just they can't figure out why. They can't wrap their head around it, and it just doesn't add up. Yeah, like
And I'm a rational person. Like for me, everything has to have a reason or else I can't move on. So like I still am just like in this limbo where I don't.
Maybe he knew you were struggling to write new shit.
Shut up.
It's gotten so stale lately. It's like, we get it. I haven't changed my bed sheet.
I literally have like a new 15 minutes just on that. It's pretty sweet.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And this is going to be I bet when you do your first album in like a couple of years, maybe 2 years, who knows? I don't know what the future of comedy is right now. Nobody does.
Yeah.
Bet this is like this essential theme of it.
I'm sure it will be. Yeah. Because these are like my favorite jokes I've ever written. So that's pretty cool.
So you turned the corner as a comedian and performer from this, and you learned that he wasn't the guy for you. He wasn't right for you. So yeah. People, I'm like, when you get your heart broken, yeah, it sucks and all that, but after a while you have to understand, hey, it just wasn't meant to be. I mean, again, I'm not a therapist, but I feel like that's the best piece of advice I could give you moving forward.
Yeah.
And if he comes back in your life in a couple of years, I don't know, marry him immediately, because clearly he's sorry. He's sorry, Sarah. Let him come back in here. I'm just being an asshole.
I'm so sorry.
All right. So you guys banged on his birthday. No, your birthday.
My birthday. And then you know how a woman usually gets a UTI is not peeing after sex. I guess I didn't. I don't know if that was the cause of this one, whatever. Shortly after I'm broken up with. It's the middle of the pandemic. What could go worse? Like I said that like out loud. And of course, when you say that, something bad happens again. And so I'm like, fuck, like I think I have a urinary tract infection. Like I know I do because I've had them before. So I had to go to the doctor during the middle of COVID, the pandemic, which you don't want to fucking do. So I'm like, I go and she goes, here's some antibiotics. Do you know this story at all?
I do not.
She gives me antibiotics. I go home. It goes away. Then it comes back, like symptoms come back. So I go back to the doctor. She goes, that sometimes happens. Here's a different set of antibiotics. Goes home.
Now, just real quick for everybody listening, a UTI, urinary tract infection, it comes about, because the woman didn't pee after sex.
That's one way of it getting,
Came away from a dude who probably didn't wash his penis as good as he should.
No, men can get it. It's just not as common. But yeah, it's like bacteria in your urethra. So like it either burns or it always feels like you have to go to the bathroom even after you just went.
I heard of a female comedian who talked about having a UTI, and she claimed it's because she was letting dudes with dirty fingers finger her.
That could be.
Okay, that's part of it too. All right, there's a lot of different ways to get that tract.
That's also, you can get like a yeast infection. There's so many different fucked up things that can go on with a vagina. It's so fucked up. But bottom line, it came back 4 times. So I had 4 UTIs a month, which is
wow. You
shouldn't be on antibiotics that long. Like that's not good. And in the joke, I say like I come back to my doctor, and my doctor looks at me and she goes, I don't know what's going on with your body. And so she's like, you got to go to a specialist for like women with fucked up pussy. She didn't say that, I said that. And what she meant was a urologist, which, have you been to a urologist, Joe?
No.
Yeah, because you're not an 80-year-old man yet. I will never be an 80-year-old man. So I'm like, what? I had to go down to Northwestern. At the time, my insurance decided to shut off. I had to pay $500 out of pocket for a visit. So I'm just like, I'm literally sitting in the waiting room, bawling my eyes out, and all these old people are looking at me like, I'm like, I've had a hard month. I'm in so much pain. Like, even if I go in the toilet and I pee, I'm literally just sitting there because it still feels like I have to pee. Like, it's just the most absurd feeling. It's unlike any UTI I've ever felt. I'm like, there's something else going on. Like, this is not normal. I go to a urologist. I've never been, but she's this very, very nice doctor. And I tell her everything from start to finish. And she goes, I know exactly what's wrong with you. And I was like, okay, that's a good sign. She goes, just to make sure, like, let's do an examination. And I was like, what's an, it's exactly like a gynecologist. You lay on your back, and the joke, I say, like, she puts a little finger in me, and she fingers me a little bit. And she goes, oh, which you never want to hear when someone's inside of you. Like, she just found her car keys. Oh.
I was gonna say, you never want to hear that.
What?
If a dude did that, like if you're intimate, you wouldn't want him to be like, oh, like there's.
Oh, I didn't know there was furniture in here. What the fuck? And I'm laying on my back and I'm like, what's going on down there? And she goes, Sarah, don't take this the wrong way. And I'm like, I already am, but what's up? I swear to God, this is the real doctor. She goes, in all my years, in all my practice of being a urologist, you have some of the tightest vaginal muscles I've ever felt in my career.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then I'd like cheat. And then everyone, like, I usually get like half an applause break. Everyone's like, yeah. And so I pull out my phone and I go, can you just say that one more time for my video, for my Tinder profile? Show your badge. Yeah. Like, I was walking around town with like the confidence of a straight white man who had a tight pussy. I don't know. It was awesome. Like, to be told that. And so then I go, okay, but what's wrong with me? And she goes, you have something called pelvic floor dysfunction. And I go, no, it's not my pelvic floor. It's like it's like where I pee. And she goes, it's all connected down there. Like, I didn't know. And she goes, basically, I had a UTI, one UTI, probably from the birthday sex. And whenever the body has any sort of infection, the muscles around it like tense up. Like, they tense up because there's an infection. Yeah. And she goes, the infection went away, but your body didn't release. Your body didn't relax. And so it's like it's a pain you're feeling, but it's like your muscles are doing it to your own body. Like, it's doing it, you're doing it, your pussy's attacking itself. She didn't say it, but like, and so I go, what? Like, are you like, what? And
pussy's not over the breakup, and that's what it's doing. It's acting out.
Literally, I was like, is she sad? Like, I didn't know what was happening. And so, but she literally said, she goes, since COVID, I have had a severe increase of women coming in with this issue because everyone is sucking everything in. Everyone's so stressed and tense. I'm like, how is that? It's like TMJ, but for your pussy. It's like you're grinding your teeth. You don't realize it. It's another line in the joke. It's pretty good. But I go, what?
So you're just squeezing in bits right now.
I'm just like, really quick. I just want to see if you laugh because then that means it's good.
Made me think to myself that should be part of the stimulus. We need a new stimulus, not just a check, but a stimulus. You know what I mean? We need to have
stimulate.
Yes, we need to help our ladies.
Yeah, have my fucking stimulus check. Went to that for a doctor to say, oh, you're doing this to yourself. So
it was worth it for the doctor to compliment you that way. That was a pretty sly little humble brag. I'm sure people have given you shit for.
Literally, when Marty and Paul are hosting the show and I end on that, they both come on stage and they go, wow, real sly way to brag about your tight vagina, Sarah. And then Marty said it once, and then Paul said it and thought he was funny. And I was like, no, Marty already said that. And
Marty's the funny one. Sorry, Paul. But no, it is the male comedian went on stage going, and then the doctor said,
dick's too big.
I have never seen a dick hang like this.
What is Marty's joke about? He's like, yeah, I go to therapy, and they're like, oh yeah, you make women come too good or something. But I go, how do I fix this? And she goes, 80% of the time, I tell women that they're doing it, they realize it, like in their head, and they can stop on their own. I'm like, that's great. I go, what about the other 20% of the time? She's like, then you gotta use a suppository of Valium.
Whoa.
So like Valium, like you take, little pill, shove it up your puss to relax your puss.
I didn't realize the pills work quite like that. I thought there was more to it.
I did. It's not literally like the same pill. It's like.
Yes, we've gone from your sister throwing an enema up your asshole to now doctors telling you to put pills up your vagina hole.
You're right. I do have a lot of weird things going up inside my body. So I've been doing that and it helped right away. But like just out of curiosity, I go, what if none of that works? And she goes, it's really rare, but maybe like 1 or 2% of women have to come back for physical therapy. And I'm like, what? She's like, you're gonna come in, lay on a table, exam table like this, and someone's gonna massage the inside of your vaginal muscles. And then the joke I say, how do we skip to that stuff?
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good closer.
No, it's a great joke. It's a great joke. I love it. I'm glad
Thank you.
did you really say that to the doctor or no?
No, I was still so pissed about the money, and I was just like so mad that it was, I almost wanted it to be like something not serious, but like not something that like I was doing to myself the whole time because of stress. Like,
Well, yeah, obviously you always feel stupid when it's like, oh, there's something wrong with me.
yeah.
That's what's wrong with me. So yeah, no
Yeah.
one wants to come to that realization. What did this doctor look like for the sake of a visual I want in my head?
She was like, probably like, she was short blonde hair in her 40s. She was like young.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Yeah. Her name was also Sarah.
Because if you were going to say like, oh, 67 years old, near retirement, I'm thinking she says this to all the gals.
You know?
No? Has anyone ever said maybe she was hitting on you?
No, she was just like she was like, I can barely like get all my like my fingers in here. It's very tight around here. And I'm like, no one's ever
known that about yourself going in, right?
I mean, I know I'm not loose, but I just thought it was just because I was like younger and I've only slept with like 14 guys. So
So you were like, I knew I was pretty good. I didn't think I was like.
I think it was like a hot dog down a hallway. I haven't had any kids and I haven't had a fucking fist in me. So like, yeah. So when she was like, you're like extremely tight.
Okay. On audio listening, everyone, Sarah did like a real like.
I forgot.
No, it's cool.
Well, that's how I want everyone to bring me up on stage now. So.
Sarah Sperry, aka Titus Vag in the area, in the city. I try to do
Titus Vag this side of the Mississippi, I think, is fair.
Yeah, you could probably say in like the plains, the greater Midwest.
Right, Midwest for sure.
You're from Missouri. You're from the other side of the Mississippi, but
I am. Oh yeah.
Side of the Mississippi. There you go, Sarah.
Yeah.
All right, Sarah. I got a couple segments I'd like to end the podcast with you.
Ooh.
This was fun. Sorry, I gave you a hard time about your breakup. We had some
okay.
Up and people sliding into your DMs being creepy with peanut butter. So we've learned some things. I'm gonna have to look up if there's like a peanut butter fad going on.
I don't know, man.
Wow, All right, so here we go. I'm gonna ask you your favorites, and then we're gonna end by playing a game of Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Fuck yeah.
I got a twist to the game though. I have a big thing of DVDs right here on the floor next to me. I was cleaning out like a old bookcase and I just have like all the DVD. Who watches DVDs anymore, right? Everything's streaming these days.
Yeah.
Reach in and at random pull them out. I'm gonna pull the 3 out, and based on who's like on the cover of the DVD or who this is the star.
That's fun.
Your choices are gonna be for Fuck, Marry, Kill. Okay, now favorites. If you could have one beer the rest of your life, what beer would it be?
Blue Moon.
Blue Moon, huh? Is that still popular?
Wait, am I getting bloated in the scenario? Because if I am, then PBR.
No, well, okay. I don't know. I didn't think that much. I asked these questions. I ask you your one beer you could have, one shot, one mixed drink. And I asked, I'm only curious about Blue Moon because I know that was like, I always thought that was like a fad drink. And I think it's solid, but I remember people went nuts for Blue Moon for a long time. You get an orange slice. It's like, and it's a good.
So delicious, but I can only have like 2. So I would say PBR.
All right, PBR. That's the one beer for the rest of your life, which I'm drinking right now. So not a fancy gal, Sarah.
No.
I'm like you. I like a cheap domestic American beer.
Cheap.
Easy to go. I'd probably choose Guinness for one for my whole life because I like something about just a pint. It's got to be in that pint glass. I think it's called an imperial pint, where it's like the glass like balloons up a little bit there.
Yeah.
Boring regular glass. All right, now one shot. You can do one shot the rest of your life. What's it going to be?
Lemon drop.
A lemon drop. That's pretty good. A little sugar when they do the sugar rim too.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Make lemon drop shots back when I bartended. Those are popular in the 2000 shit, when was I bartending? 2010 or something? All right. One mixed drink the rest of your life. What's it going to be?
Vodka soda.
Tito's, or do you have a particular vodka, or what do you like?
Probably, yeah, Tito's, yeah.
Tito's.
I honestly can't tell the difference.
No,
Unless,
can. I refuse to.
yeah.
I mean, maybe if you drink it a lot, you can tell the difference between a cheap vodka and a, but like the top, can you really tell the difference between like Absolute and what's the other one that's really popular?
Grey Goose.
Goose. I doubt it. I doubt people.
No, I can't.
If you're listening and you think I'm full of shit, let me know. Drunk food, when you're like hammered, what's like your one food choice?
Oh my God.
And you can only pick one.
Oh, probably like a double cheeseburger and fries.
From where though? Let's get specific.
Probably like, fuck. Probably like Sonic.
Why did I feel like you were going to say Sonic? Because right before you gave me a look like, you're going to make fun of me for it. And that's
because, okay, so me and my friend Joe Loisel were like so hungry today. And we were like, wanted burgers so bad. So we were thinking about doing rocks. And we were thinking about doing Chevelle. What is it? Oh, Chevelle?
Yeah, I was Chevelle. I don't know. It's some
whatever. And I was like, that's like too fancy. I was like, I just want a Sonic cheeseburger. And it's like on the higher end of fast food because they're huge and they're so good.
Sonic is in Chicago. I didn't know there was one either.
There is. There's one like right north of me. They know me there.
Oh,
yeah.
Like Edgewater or something?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, this one's one of my favorites. And, you might need a little time with it. So I'll have to fill the dead air.
Okay.
Historical person. Not historical, but like, all right, historical sounds like, a president or something. But let me rephrase that. You could get drunk with a famous dead person. They have to be famous. Like, who's a famous dead person you'd want to get hammered with?
Probably Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. Okay. You'd want to bang him, but
yeah,
you can't bang him if he's drunk too. Maybe he could still operate.
I just want to look at him.
Okay.
So just for reference, my dream guy, out of everybody I've ever told you that I'm into, my dream guy is Heath Ledger in 10 Things I Hate About You. That long.
Great movie.
That smile with like a little gap.
Long like that, but I don't think I have the time or the patience, and I don't think it would fall that way. I think my hair just froze out. So
yeah, you're just too thick. Yeah, it wouldn't work.
He is that cool widow's peak too.
He has everything.
You have a receding hairline, but it's kind of like widow's peak for now. Who knows what's going to be in 10 years or so? And it looks better than when they had like the straight across hairline. And I'm like, you're going bald. That's the cool way to go bald. You don't want to I knew a young comedian. It's like 28. I'll tell you his name off air. I don't want to out him because he's got a great front hairline. I remember when I discovered, because he mentioned, I'm like, you're not bald. What are you talking about? He goes, dude, look. I'm like, oh shit. I know who you're talking about. You know who I'm talking about now?
Yeah.
Jeff Arcuri. I'll just say comedian. Everyone check out his shit. But he's got his front hairline. I remember being like, what are you talking about? You have good hair.
Yeah.
I'm pointing. I'm like, oh wow, just threw me off because it's just you don't see that
random. Yeah.
I guess it is a common way, but I've seen some more dudes than not. They lose it up front first.
Yeah.
Does that like horseshoe George Costanza pattern type.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Heath Ledger's your dude, but not even to get drunk with. You just want to be with him.
I just want to be with him. So.
All right. Okay. Well, Sarah, tell everyone where they could find you. We're gonna do the fucking, but I'm thinking about whether or not I'll put this on the regular podcast or throw this on the Patreon. So tell everyone where they could find you.
My website and my Twitter and my Instagram are Sperry Comedy. So that's.
And there's a series about you coming out soon, right?
Yeah, they tell me this week. I mean, it's been pushed off so long. I worked really, really hard on it. I filmed it late last year. So, oh my God, it's been so long. But it's basically my old doctor bit put into a sketch. And the quality is amazing. They're just like getting the coloring just right. But that'll be on my YouTube and my Instagram as well. So as soon as it's out, as soon as I have any of it. So
that's awesome. Okay. Now we are going to play game called Fuck, Marry, Kill, everybody. You guys know the rules and how I like to do it. I've got a big pile of DVDs. I'm going to pull out random here now. I'm pulling around it. One fell out of the box already. First one I'm pulling. Well, this is almost too easy. It's the movie Moneyball with Brad Pitt.
Okay.
Brad Pitt's gonna be one of your choices.
Can I choose Jonah Hill?
You could choose Jonah Hill if you want.
Okay. Yeah, I have.
Sexist of me to be surprised that you've seen Moneyball. Maybe
Why
slightly.
would that be Texas?
Didn't mean it to be because it's a baseball movie.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You know what? Yeah.
You should give me a hard time for it. I don't know why. I just in my brain, and not that I just have never talked sports with you. And when I brought up sports earlier, you're like, dumb sports. So that's why I just assumed you would not see a sports
I'm
movie.
like obsessed with them, like my twin sisters. But I mean, I grew up with the Cardinals. We went to games all the time, and that was our only good professional sports team. So it was baseball. Brad Pitt, Jonah Hill. I was like,
Super Bowl when you were like,
when I was little, the Rams were good. Yeah.
there you go. All right.
Yeah.
Next one. Well, no, so it really wasn't that sexist to me. It was context clues of you saying you don't like sports, but that's a very.
Yeah, you did that on your own. I wasn't even thinking that.
All right, here we go. Next one.
Sabotaging yourself.
The movie's so underrated. The movie is Slackers.
I don't know.
Here's what I do when it's a multiple cast on the cover. I pick a number. I'll tell you the number of people on the cover. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have to pick a number between 1 through 6. Real quick though, have you seen the movie Slackers?
No, I haven't.
It is an underrated comedy that came out in the year 2002. Real quick, it's 80,
I was 8.
86 minutes long. It's such a short movie. It's
That's short.
half. Here's who it stars. It stars Devon Sawa, Jason Schwartzman, James King or Jamie King. I forget what she goes by, but she's smoking hot. Jason Segel has a big role in it.
Oh.
Big name in it. Michael C. Morona, who was a child or a teen actor on Nickelodeon shows. I think he was in like, I can't remember what he was in, but he's also one of the brothers in Home Alone. He wasn't Buzz, but the other brother.
Can we do Jason Segel?
I'll let you do Jason Segel.
Okay, he's like the only one I know. Okay.
You had a rough quarantine. I'll let you pick. You got Brad Pitt and Jason Segel so far, but I do recommend Slackers. I think I'm going to watch that actually. All right, picking the last one. Let's see. Oh, holy shit! Another comedy from about the same era. It's the movie Road Trip. Have you ever seen Road Trip?
Maybe when I like wasn't allowed to watch it, I feel like that looks so familiar.
God, that made me feel real old that you weren't not at one point not allowed to watch a movie. This also came out in the year 2001, I believe it says, or 2000. This movie was right after American Pie. So Sean was like red hot at this time.
Okay.
So,
That's different from yeah, that's because the title is Dude, Where's My Car? Okay.
Where's My Car? So he had a great run of American Pie.
Yeah.
American Pie 2, Dude, Where's My Car? And then he went off and did a couple action movies with he was in one with The Rock and a few other people. He's probably the most successful of the American Pie cast. I mean, Biggs was really big. And a lot of the female actresses did well. Tara Reid went down a weird path, I think, unfortunately. All right. I'm going to let you not choose this one because I want to mix it up here. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to choose Amy Smart. We're going to get a woman in there.
Okay.
We can do all dudes. I've never dudes though. Whenever I pick it, I always have like people pick someone they don't want always. Are you looking up Amy Smart right now?
Yeah, because I know who she is, but she from Just Friends.
She's been in a million things, this woman.
And Butterfly Effect. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Jason Segel, Amy Smart, and Brad Pitt. Who are you gonna F? Who are you gonna marry? Who are you gonna kill?
I'm gonna marry Jason Segel. He's hilarious.
Hilarious writer, musician, writes good songs.
Little chubby, like in his tummy, so he'll be a good snuggle buddy.
Yeah. He went full nude in a movie. And Sarah Marshall, he showed.
Yeah. I got a surprise for you.
The movie's so underrated, Sarah Marshall.
It's my favorite movie of all time.
It might be one of mine too. It's really bullshit.
When I tell people that, they're like, what? I'm like, rewatch it.
No, I don't know how people don't love that. There's a lot of movies I've been revisiting from the late 2000s, like 2007 to 2010.
So good.
That amazing. You know, it's another underrated movie. It's more like romantic side, I guess. Easy A with Emma Stone.
That's good. And I Love You, Man, which is also with Jason Segel.
Really good too. There's another one I watched recently where I'm like, fuck, this movie is so funny. I can't think of it right now. But anyway, all right. So you're going to marry Jason Segel.
Marry Jason Segel. Fuck Brad Pitt just to say like that I did that. And I'm like convinced he probably has like a really small penis, so I want to see that. And then I would just kill Amy Smart. I mean, she's okay. I don't have a opinion of her either way.
I just had to kill someone, so I get it. And it's,
Yeah.
a woman killing a woman doesn't make it bad. Where a lot of the times the dudes are like, I can't kill one of the, if I give them the choice, they're like, I can't kill a woman. It's 2020. Why do you think Brad Pitt's got a small dong?
Because he's so handsome and good at everything else.
So you assume.
Yeah.
What though? I look, everyone watching and listening. I got sad news for you. I have no idea what Brad Pitt's rocking. You could very well be right, Sarah, but I've heard this before throughout my life, where someone's like, I bet they're dumb, or I bet they're this, or because they see something that's so unbelievable. There are plenty of times where the starting quarterback is the valedictorian. I was like that at my high school. Like,
everybody has one shortcoming now. Everybody.
But sometimes it's something where you're like, oh, they're missing a toe. Who cares? And everything else is amazing.
Yeah, he could be okay. Then they'll have good sex. There you go.
Well, there you go. Either way,
win-win. Yeah.
Pitt seems like such a great guy that I can't imagine. No, he does have. He was addicted to pain pills, and
Ooh, careful! I'm gonna try to fix him.
you like bad boys? We've established that. And it was like an alcoholic. There was Angelina Jolie was telling stories about him in like their breakup papers or
So
something.
is he like sober now?
He's sober now, which I don't think that. Look, people go through stuff. I'm not knocking that, but you were saying what's his flaw? I think that might have been his flaw, or it could be the small package you were insinuating upon.
It would be an interesting leg. You know what I mean?
All right, I think you have some very good choices, everybody. That's been this round of Fuck, Marry, Kill with the very funny Sarah Perry. Everyone follow her on Instagram at Sperry Comedy. Did I get that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Also, if you're in Chicago, Sarah has been at every club multiple times a week. I feel like since things have opened back up, you have been like the number one go-to, just kicking ass. I'm on a show,
Thank you.
so I'll see you again. And it's really awesome to see. Keep it going. Yeah, all the best to you. Thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, finally, we were able to successfully.
I know. What if it wasn't recording this whole time?
It says recording in the corner.